Alrighty, ready to turn a little more dirt today. Hopefully get done. I don't know if we will or not. I'm gonna go get started, and when Tyler gets off work, he was gonna bring his 4320 and his 5-bottom over and try to plow. He's never pulled the plow with the tractor before, and he was kind of struggling with it last night, but hopefully once he gets it shined up, it'll go. Had a little bit of an issue when I first got this thing hooked up. I got up there and hooked it up the tractor, walked around the side, and the whole side of the cylinder was wet with hydraulic oil, and the hose was wet clear up to here. So either because the jacket was getting weather checked, the reinforcing wire inside had started to rust, and the liner was letting loose and it was seeping through the jacket of the hose, or it was letting loose at the crimp, one of the two. But either way, the hose was bad, so I put 2 new lift hoses on it and got it all greased and ready to go. So yeah, but before we take off, because you know, always got to be somebody in the comment section, on that last video I did at chisel plowing, when I was talking about the draft control on this thing, I said you had 7 spots to change your draft. You had 3 down here and 4 up here. 7 spots. I didn't say you had 7 draft settings. I said you had 7 spots to change your draft. Well, a guy named Biggin44 decided that he needed to correct me, and he said, actually, you have 12 draft settings, 3 on the bottom and 4 on the top. Well, first off, I didn't say you had 7 draft settings. I said you had 7 spots to change your draft. And second of all, you only have 6 draft settings, because if you use the top hole here, that puts the lower links in line with the load shaft, so you're not going to get any feedback off of the pull on the lower links, hence 0 draft. Or if you have the draft link set in the top hole of the equalizer link, you're going to get 0 draft, so you're going to get no feedback. So those 2 holes, no matter which combination you're in, is going to give you 0 draft, so you can't count those as draft settings. So technically you have 2 draft settings on the bottom and 3 on the top. 2 times 3 is 6. So yeah, suck it. You want to get on here and correct me and try to make me look bad, because you can tell that's what he was trying to do just by the way the comment was written. If you want to get on here and try to make me look bad, get your shit right. I'm not saying I'm always right, but don't try to make me look bad on purpose, because you're going to poke the fucking bear. And I don't really know why he's here to begin with, because I remember very, very distinctly, like 4 or 5 years ago, however long ago it was, I remember this distinctly, he was the very first person ever on my channel to bitch about the language I use. Very first person ever, and he did not like the response I gave him at the time either. So, yeah, fuck ya. I know people don't like it when I do that, but my channel, I can do whatever I want. If you don't like it, So anyway, for those of you that are going to stick around after my rant, let's go get plowing, and hopefully Tyler shows up, and there's a possibility Ron's going to show up with his 3010 and a 3-bottom. So possibility we got 3 tractors going today, or tonight. However, we're going to be plowing after dark. So anyway, let's get after it. All right, well, we're going to start over here on the wheat stubble and go from there. I just worked in these little short rows here behind this patch of trees. There's a spring that bubbles up in there, so obviously they never farmed it, and why there's a patch of trees there. But this short little spot was going to be a pain in the ass to plow in the land, so I just deadheaded him off real quick to get him out of the way. So anyway, gonna lay this first one off as a dead furrow and just start working our way that way. So yeah. finally showed up. Had to come out and lead him in. Plowing in the dark. There's just something about it. It's different. It's fun. Plowing in general is probably the most fun form of tillage there is. If you've never moldboarded, you don't understand. It's a lot more limiting than a scissor plow, and you're still doing circles, but you gotta, because you're in a furrow, you can only do it a certain way, so you're really limited to what you gotta do. And it's weird, but moldboard plowing is just so much damn fun. Unfortunately, Tyler had to bail on me. He made about 3 rounds, and he was having some real bad plugging issues. Well, I shouldn't say whoever, we know exactly who did it because he bought the plow from the original owner, but they had the coulters on his plow set to where the back of the coulter was like right here. And he had absolutely no trash clearance whatsoever. And one little ball of shit would stop the coulter from turning, and it'd ball up in between the coulter and the moldboard, and he was having a hell of a time, so he went home and he's gonna make some adjustments, and he's gonna try again tomorrow on my last field. So he's got the I think, I'm not a deer plow guy, I know it's an F140 series, I think it's an F145, but I think I've got him convinced he needs to buy an Oliver 565. That tractor would like that plow a lot better. And even he admitted it, that Oliver's a better plow. So anyhow, like I say, I was gonna try to plow more tonight, but it's about 6 miles to get to that next field, and they took the rain out of tomorrow, and laying out a field in the dark sucks. Once I got my first block worked off over there while it was daylight enough out, I laid out my last land so that all I had to do when it was dark out was follow my furrows. Everything was already laid out for me. Because when you can't see the other end of the field, it's kind of hard to make a straight furrow. But anyhow, I guess we'll catch you guys in the morning. All right, well, here we are. The field where it all started is the field where it's all gonna end. After this, we'll be completely done with tillage, which feels pretty damn good, especially considering the fact that this year the ground conditions have been perfect for it. Last year we were fighting mud right up till the bitter end, and it just was not fun. So I don't know if we're gonna get Tyler back today. He texted me a while ago and said he had to run up to Green Mark, so I don't know if he broke something last night, because when I drove by earlier, he had the 43 on his chisel plow. So either way, 8 acres ain't gonna take me that long, probably a couple, 2-3 hours. So pitter patter, let's get at her. I swear it never ends with this damn field. Every single time the wind blows, trees fall down. And if you recall, when I came out here and ran their combine this field, there was 2 great big trees down right up here on top of this hill. After I got done combining it and came over here and chopped it, I brought 1600 and loader over and picked those up and carried them back and threw them back there. Well, here we are, what, 5-6 weeks later, tree down there, little tree down there, tree down over there. So Dad's running me over a chainsaw because naturally when they fell, they didn't break enough for me to move them by hand. So get this mess cleaned up and might actually be able to get something done. Off my last land here. That part up there is some really nice light ground, and then I get over on this side where this hill is, and Well, I'm just gonna put the camera back here on the fender so that you can watch the plow. And I'm gonna make a round here. And I just want you guys to watch the soil variability I have just in this one field. And this is actually fairly common for the ground we got around here, but I'll bet there's at least 5 soil types just in this one round I'm gonna make, probably 6. So yeah, I'm just gonna put the camera over here on the other fender so you can see what the plow's doing, and just watch the dirt I'm rolling over and watch how it changes. So, I know in previous plowing videos, more than a fair number of you expressed interest in wanting to know how to back plow a dead furrow. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the greatest demonstration of how to do it because this field is shaped like a damn football. It's narrower at both ends and wide in the middle. So my dead furrow ended up kind of a mess, but gonna do the best job at showing you that I can. Basically, you drop your front wheel back down in the furrow, and you leave the tail wheel up as high as you can, or you leave the back of the plow picked up as high as you can, so you leave the tail wheel down, and you basically just feather the dirt into the dead furrow with the two front bottoms. So yeah, it generally works best if you go both ways down the dead furrow and throw dirt in from both sides. But like I say, this furrow's kind of a mess, so I'm going to show you the best I can, but you'll get the gist of it. Life in the spring a whole lot easier. And on that note, all of the 2020 field work is done, thank God. Not that I don't enjoy all this, but I was getting to the point where I was ready to start getting some decent sleep again. Instead of coming home or going to work, coming home, sleeping for 5 hours, getting up, doing this, going to work, coming home, sleeping for 5 hours. Been doing that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So, anyhow, don't know what the hell happened to Tyler. My guess is he didn't like the fact that I was embarrassing the fuck out of that 4320 last night. He's got 15 more horse on me, and I was just walking the dog in front of him. With that setup there, I can plow about 4.5 miles an hour, which is, for moldboard plowing, that's kind of your sweet spot. 4.5 to 5 miles an hour, just about perfect. And third direct is what I run most of the time, and that's about 4.5 miles an hour on that tractor, and I could just walk away from him. in his defense, he does not have that tractor weighted or ballasted for heavy work whatsoever yet. He needs about 2 sets of wheel weights on the back, and he needs some weight on the nose, because right now he's got no weight on the back and just 2 starters on the front, no slabs. And he's running some old, well-worn Firestone Field and Roads that have seen better days. But I couldn't believe how light that tractor is for a 115 horse tractor. When he ran it across the scale, and it only weighed like just a tick over 10,000 pounds. The only way you're gonna get that son of a bitch to weigh that even close to that is if you take the caster wheels off and put stamped steel on it, and even at that, you're gonna be right at 10. There ain't gonna be no wiggle room. So that's the bitch about trying to set that thing up for tractor pulling. Is the lightest I can get it. The way it sets is 12,000, and that is stripping it. That's taking the front weight bracket off. That's taking the 3-point off. That is stripping that tractor. Hell, the 1800, and it's only being 80 horse box stock out of the factory. That tractor, the way it sits with the caster wheels and narrow front, weighs 9,500 pounds. Come on, dear, throw a little bit of iron at your damn tractors. You got 115 horse and you ain't even got enough stock tractor to hook it to the ground without throwing weight at it. Son of a bitch. But anyhow, plus he was having plow issues. That plow, it needs some tweaking, or just park it in the fence row and buy an Oliver. That's what I'd do. But anyway, that's enough poking at the deer guys for today. I could make a whole video poking at deer guys. I love poking deer guys. Them and their fucking 40-20s. Had an idiot post on my fucking chisel plowing video the other day. I bet my 40-20 could do that. Boy, you show me a 40-20 that could pull an 11 shank 3-point chisel plow 9 inches in the ground at 4.5 miles an hour. I'll show you a 40-20 that's got a Kinsey repower in it. There ain't no damn way. I'm not so sure you could hang enough iron on a 40-20 to make it pull an 11 shank 3-point chisel plow. I should make a video ripping John Deere guys just for the entertainment of me and all the other all-color guys. I know I got Ford guys and Alice guys and IH guys. Everybody gets along except for the Deere guys. That could be an entertaining video, to tell you the truth. And before the guys that watch my videos that own Deere equipment get all about hurt, there are 2 different Deere guys. There are Deere guys that own Deere equipment because it's what's always been around, or they got a dealer around or whatever, but they just run it because it's there. And then there's the guys that are Deere guys. Like, Deere guys. Like, even the guys that watch my videos that own Deere equipment know exactly who I'm talking about. I mean the Deere guys. The ones that are really, really annoying at tractor shows. But anyway, I think it's time to wrap this video up. I gotta run this thing home. I got enough daylight. Get the plow washed up, get the maul boards painted. Get the dual off the tractor, get it washed up because she's done for the year. And see where life takes me after that. So, that's it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next one. As a quick little addendum to the end of this video, if you do want to see more of that 4320 and some other stuff, Tyler started his own channel a while back, right before harvest started. I think he's got like 6 or 7 videos up now. And typical of trying to start a new channel, he's been kind of struggling to get the views and stuff. So, like I say, if you do want to see more of that 4320, I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description. So go take a look at what he's got for you and help him out a little bit. So, yep, take her easy.